What a classic! We're here looking today at Micro Machines. This is the Mega Drive version. This came out for a whole ton of platforms. It seems like the NES version was the first version, which was 1991. We're looking at the Mega Drive version, which is 93. I think probably most people in the UK, I'm assuming, came into contact with it with the Mega Drive. And potentially, they only came into contact with it with Micro Machines 2. I don't know. But yes, genuinely a proper classic. So couldn't resist having a look at this. So I guess we're one player. Let's go challenge. And every time I play this, I look at the characters and think, well, you know, you could be any of these people. Emilio, which I'm assuming is Emilio Estevez. But there's only one choice. It's either Dwayne, Walter. It's got to be Spider, hasn't it? Qualifying race. So, based on the toy cars, which is such a weird thing, this game is basically about toy cars on small surfaces. I imagine most people have probably seen this game before. Oh, is that it? Okay. Yeah, so who do I want to race? Well, Walter. He looks delighted. Dwayne. Let's have Emilio Estevez as well. Yeah. Let's at least get one female character in there. Or it should be 4 dudes. So yeah, I think the thing that most people will remember is basically this level. It's the breakfast table. Which one am I? I'm the yellow driver. So there's a couple of things that are kind of interesting about Micro Machines. The multiplayer, I think, is where this game gets a lot of its props, and I think as a multiplayer game I really do enjoy it. The problem with it is that you have to play with people who are of a certain skill set. It's not one of those games that you can throw people who've never played it before with experts, because they'll just get decimated. But it can be a lot of fun. And I think the controls are the thing that throw most people off, because it's basically tank controls. So I'm using left and right on the D-pad to move the car left or right. I'm using B to drive at the minute. But I think it's getting your head around the perspective of the car changing. It's kind of steering the car as opposed to... yeah. As opposed to putting the car where you want it to go. What a surprise, Walter was last. Yeah, there we go. Another classic. More desktop fun. The other thing is the white lines around the outside of the track. I mean, they're to tell you where to go, but they're also to keep you in check so you don't skip a corner. They generally design tracks so that you can't skip the corners. But they also will destroy your car if you go too far off the beaten path. Oh man, this is going badly already. Oh, come on, I can't be in 4th. Not behind Walter. It's kind of learning where on the track to rein it in and where on the track to just put your foot down. Oh no, this is terrible. It's not an easy game, I will say that. Especially because the amount of road in front of you is very little. So you're almost driving by sense of smell. Or just rote memorization, which that doesn't make a great game. At the time though, this is just kind of such a weirdly unique thing that it kind of struck a chord with a lot of people. It was rare that you'd go around to somebody's house and they'd have a Mega Drive and they wouldn't have this, especially if they had people around to play. It's kind of one of those multiplayer staples. Jesus Christ, I have to do this again. Right. Go on, a hit. Oh, God. No, I'm not being fourth. It's control of my cold, dead hands. I'm not being fourth. Failed. So you get 3 lives, and I believe you have to start from the scratch. Goes, go. Right, now I know the track. Let's hope I can do a little bit better. Oh, I hate those. I hate the rulers and I hate the pencil sharpeners. Right, there's a grey folder up here. That's the one. You see what I mean? You start learning to notice certain parts of the track. I suppose nowadays, they're making a new Micro Machines right now. It's as I'm recording this, it is either coming out or is very close to being out. I'm very curious as to what that game ends up being, or whether it is just a faithful recreation of Micro Machines, because they've tried multiple times over the years to create new games in the series, including one which I guess we won't get to look at, which is Micro Maniacs, which doesn't really have the Micro Machines license as far as I'm aware, because you're running on foot. It's like Sonic R. As comparing it to Sonic R is probably kind of harsh. Sonic R has much better music. Oh god, I gotta make some ground up here. Is second enough? I can't remember. It's a corner too wide. Yeah, Micromaniacs, you ran on foot. It was a PlayStation game, about 2000 I think it was. They'd already had one successful version of this on the PlayStation, which was V3. Well, is this the garage? Yeah. Slower tracks. So you also get different vehicles, so different speed of vehicle, different complexity of track, because this is already much more complex than the previous two. You start to get used to, the little white globules of glue slowing you down. The little black pools of oil will make you uncontrollable. Oh, I just drove through that glue. How did I do that? Pretty best to not question it, to be honest. Yeah, you don't want to go in those. They're bad for you. I always liked the breakfast table ones were my personal favourite. I like those. The billiard table or the pool table, those are pretty good. I didn't really like the school desk. That's probably the most accurate of the tracks, though. If you figure the Micro Machines were for kids to drive along the side of things when they're bored. So they've got much better things to do now. They've got phones and fidget spinners, and they don't just have little Matchbox cars. Weird, Micro Machines were such a big thing then. They were big for like a really small amount of time. Yeah, get out of it, Walter. Does that mean I have to drop somebody else in? Let's go Dwayne then, shall we? There's a fair amount of tracks and kind of different vehicles as well. I remember this track being a bit of a pain in the arse. A lot of sharp corners. And little annoying pebbles like that. Oh. It also takes you forever to reset. Oh, that was savage. So how come I can bounce off that pebble? My whole Micro Machines reality has been shattered. No, I missed it again. Right, I can't miss that third time round because otherwise I'll lose this match. I'm getting pretty close to losing it, actually, to be honest. That low hum. Right, it's here, isn't it? Careful. There we go. Oh. Oh. Just about. And Cherry's good at this. Isn't there one that's a bathtub as well? That's in the second game. See, when you're playing multiplayer, there is a little bit of a competitive advantage to being able to bump somebody off the track. When you're playing against AI, it's more of a risk. Oh no. That's bad. In retrospect, it is kind of weird these games don't have any music. It's just engine sound. But they do look really nice. Yeah, you have to figure, in terms of competitive racing games, what was there? I mean, this controls sort of similar to Stunt Race FX, or am I thinking of the other one? Am I thinking of like Championship Sprint and those top-down racing games in the 80s and 90s? I think Stunt Race FX might have been isometric, actually. But there's something about the simplicity of just total top-down, no roads, that goes in its favour. The novelty as well. I think the novelty of it was certainly a selling factor in the 90s. It's possibly why it's struggled to come back. Again, I'm curious what the new one's going to be like. But it feels like a series they've tried to reboot multiple times now. And it's, you know, I think V3 is probably the last time it was seen as, you know, a big deal. There was a non-licensed Micro Machines-like game a few years back. I think on Steam. I don't know whether it came to any other platforms, but yeah, there's certainly people out there trying to make those games. Triple win. Beat the clock. This is going to go well. Oh, look at that giant monster truck. What the hell? Whoa. Well, this is going well. Ah, this sucks. Shall I just give up now? Yeah, no shit. He looks nonplussed about it, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, here we go. Here's the billiard, or the cue ball. Little Formula 1 cars. Yeah, this is the staple. These tracks also go really fast. I don't want to hit him. I don't want to hit him. Well, I didn't hit him. Get off here. Oh, shit. Oh, alright. I actually made that ramp. I always like this as well. Go down one, come out the other. The thing I like about these tracks is it feels like they came out of like an 8-year-old's imagination. That to me sums this game up really well. It's like the kind of game that a child would have in their head that somebody has actually made into a proper video game. Alright, okay. And around the corner again. Oh, come on! Which direction did it spawn me then? Why is it spawning me that direction? Yes, I don't remember that in the second game. That seems like a bug. The inability to go down the hole there when there's another car in the way. See, I'm making up all this time on the straights, but I'm losing it on the corners and the ramps. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You can kind of count them in. Right, ramp on the right here. I don't have to go very far. Whoa. I might get this. There's not many more difficult. Oh, that's quite tempting fate here. Yeah, see what's gonna let me doing that. Yeah, get out of it. That's what I mean, is that you can't cut corners. It doesn't like it, you're doing it. I legitimately like this game. I think Micro Machines 2 is a better game, but the first one is where it all started. And to be honest, when we get to the second one, they added a lot more features. So let's take a look at that.